Welcome back to another video. In this video, we're gonna do something raw, just sharing with you my honest thoughts on what it takes to actually be a recruiter, working for yourself, and what it takes to do it really, really well. If you've been following me, whether you've seen only one video or two or three, I'm all about transparency and authenticity as much as possible, sharing with you my journey through the ups, through the downs, and just trying my best to give you like an accurate picture of what a life is like as a full desk recruiter working for himself, whether it's a solo recruiter or a small agency, and honestly taking along for the ride and highlighting some of the really stressful, unique situations we find ourselves into with candidates and with clients. And I think this is something that really means a lot to me. I think the internet needs more transparency. I think it's very easy to go to other influencers, other people in the space that are like, you know what, we can help you make 6 figures by taking our course and you can do it in like 20 days or 10 days or within 30 days. And look, if you're able to find something to help you make 6 figures in the first 3 days, sign me up. But if not, from my experience, that does not exist. Too good to be true. And I'm not here to just give you a pipe dream. I'm here to just share with you like the real situation on recruiting, what life is like as a recruiter. And if you want to achieve similar successes to what I've done, like what I think it actually takes and requires. And so if you are excited, sit down, grab your popcorn, let's get into this together. Just talk about the raw, honest truth about recruiting. So the first honest truth about recruiting is that it will take time, right? We all want to make $1 million the first 7 days. We all want to make $500,000 the first 2 months, but is it actually going to happen? Probably not. So when you start as a recruiter, especially a self-employed one working for yourself, you got to give yourself a long-term horizon, right? Like it's not realistic to start a business with a 7-day horizon saying, hey, if it doesn't work in 7 days, if it doesn't work in 2 to 3 days or 2 to 3 months, it's just not meant to be. It's a scam. It's too good to be true. Like that's just unrealistic. Not just recruiting, but just basic business self-employment 101. If you're gonna start anything, you wanna give yourself a long-term horizon. Why? Because especially if you don't have any experience before, you're gonna have to get through not only like what it takes to be an entrepreneur or what that actually requires, meaning like mentally, psychologically, understanding failure. Like there's a lot of stuff when it comes to working for yourself. And if you apply that on the recruiting lens, did you just start your own recruitment agency and are struggling getting your own clients? Are you thinking about starting your own agency but afraid to make the jump? Do you have your own clients but you're struggling to find the perfect candidates fast? Do you have a full-time job and want to do recruitment part-time to make more money on the side and have no idea how to? If you answered yes to any of these questions, please consider joining our private community. It is a trust-based community where recruiters around the world can support, collaborate, and work together on placements all around the year consistently. In this community, you will directly have access to the real open jobs of my team and of our members, and you will also have the chance to access trainings, events, giveaways, and much more. If you are part of this community, I communicate and work with you as if you were on my own team, and I'll do whatever I can to do a placement together with your client or candidate. So if you're struggling to get your own clients or candidates and you want a way you can make sure you can be busy all year round by having access to many more open roles, then this is something you need to look into. This is open to people around the world and is open for recruiters in every industry and experience levels, as we will always have a good number of variety of open jobs across sectors, markets, and industries. I'm really happy to say that within the first 30 days, we have already have a new member with minimal recruiting experience do his first placement that had a total fee of almost $30,000 US, and we are working hard to do many more this year. If you are interested and excited, there are only a limited number of spots open, so make sure you sign up quick at patreon.com/recruiterpreston. If you have any questions, please reach out to me on LinkedIn, Instagram, or Discord. We can set up a time to chat. See you on the other side. Developing a tough skin, being okay showing up and working at your best when no money's coming in, to be able to navigate the emotions of that, client acquisition, candidate acquisition, interviews, invoicing. Like there's a lot of stuff when it comes to working for yourself. And if you apply that on the recruiting lens, even though you have worked as a recruiter, you're just gonna have to learn a lot when it comes to making that plunge working for yourself. And because of that, it's very difficult to just kind of learn all of that in the first week or two and then just make your first 6 figures in 14 days. It's just not the case. So my biggest suggestion here is that give yourself a long-term horizon. Making a decision to start a business shouldn't be one where you take lightly. Like it's gonna completely change your life. It's gonna consume it. People around you have to be okay with that. You have to be okay with with that. You have to be okay with making sacrifices. And if you really want to give yourself a fighting chance of being profitable business that's going to last, you got to give yourself a long-term horizon, assuming you also put in that work every day, every week, and every month. So typically, like I would say, hey, you got to give yourself at least 6 months or 12 months, assuming that you do it really, really hard, great intensity every single day. Some people say, hey, within 3 to 6 months, you kind of get the idea. But honestly, with me, even 3 months sounds way too short, because even if you're able to find success in the first 60, 90 days, my next question is, was it really based on luck or was it based on skill? Because you can learn something, and for some people, it might take you 30 days to learn something. For others, it might take 60 or 90 or maybe even quicker, but then to execute it consistently over time, that is the biggest difference to me between someone who's just lucky, who just found a lucky client, his first 2 candidates just happened to get the deal, versus someone who understands exactly how to do it consistently over time. To me, I don't care how many deals you do in 1 month. I care about, can you be around a year from now, 2 or 3 years from now? That's a true testament to like, okay, you understand what to do. And for you to be able to tell yourself confidently that you know what you're doing, and for other people to be able to look at you saying he knows what he's doing, I think you need way more time than 3 months. I think 6 or maybe 12 months minimum to establish a really, really good track record. So number 1, don't come in with an unrealistic timeline. Like everyone wants to make money quick, but enjoy the journey and don't let the lack of not making money overshadow just the learning and improving that you're going through every week. You're getting better with cans, you're getting better with those calls, you're getting better and smarter with client acquisition, marketing, and LinkedIn, or whatever you have to do. And so don't let your frustrations of like, I'm not doing a placement, signal to you that you're doing everything wrong. That's not the case. Enjoy the journey long term, be consistent, and it'll all work out perfectly. The next raw truth about recruiting is that this is a business. And to bring up the old saying, it takes money to make money, is absolutely true. Can you start a recruiting business or a career lean as much as possible? Yes. How can I say that? Well, that's what I did. I mean, if you've been watching me for a long time, I started my own agency using my wife and fiance's credit card. Now, I do want to show the fine print. The main difference with me though is I had recruiting background or experience before. So even though I didn't have a lot of money to spend then, I knew exactly the right tools you need to use to be able to like get up and running as fast as possible. So yeah, you don't have to immediately spend for an ATS or CRM or all these bunch of plugins, but will all that stuff help? Absolutely. Do I still function my business today in a lean manner as I did when I first started? No, because we now are able to reinvest the money, the hard-earned capital, to more plugins, to more messaging, to more email credits, to more systems and foundations on the both clients and candidate side, right? It takes money to make money. Can you continue to create a business that sustains long-term with no money possible? Maybe, but it's very unlikely to sustain that. Like you want to do whatever you can in a lean fashion to do your first couple deals and then be able to reinvest that into better tools, better systems, instead of taking it off the table prematurely and go partying or buying yourself something nice materially. Like reinvest it long-term for your success and don't just have a short-term horizon. So it 100% takes money to make money. If you're starting on your adventure to work for yourself, again, recruiting business or not, but you don't have any savings, you only have $100 to your name, that's probably not the best situation to be in financially to do anything self-employed. I would recommend at least having some sort of savings account, maybe 3 to 6 months or more. The more you have, the better, so that you can stress less about not having money to pay the rent and bills and focus more on what do you need to do to push your business forward. I think working for yourself is stressful. It's going to be the most stressful thing that you'd have done ever in your life. And so like, why put yourself more stress on that just to survive, right? So take a step back. Make sure that, again, if you're starting a business for yourself, it's not a small decision. It's a big decision. You're going to do it for the long term and you want to set yourself up for success as much as possible. Have savings. So not only, you can be more at ease, you also have some money to play with to kind of invest into right tools and platforms and plugins so that you can do your job better as a recruiter for candidates and for clients. And so while it's possible starting anything with no money, you always should try to find a way to save, put yourself in a stronger position first, get that first level of foundation solved, and then whatever you have left over, pay to play. Like you can pay more for new tools, better AI, better automation or whatever, so that you can get time back and now focus on running a great business. The third hard lesson that I see when it happens to recruiting is that it honestly just recruiting comes down to recruiters, right? Like I can have 20 recruiters in front of me and I can give them every single tool, every single script, every single system that I use, my team uses, but all of our results are going to be different. Why? Because psychologically, mentally, and life situationally, we're all going to be different. Like your work ethic wise, discipline wise, like your goals and ambition and what you're willing to do for it, how much you're willing to sacrifice, it all comes down to the recruiter. And so if you want full-time and you're able to put in full-time, you're willing to make the sacrifices and discipline, your results are going to be very different from those who just want to go at their own speed, go slow, and go at their own pace. But if you're in the latter, do not try to compare yourself with the people going full-time and expecting their results, right? Everyone goes by their own speed. You have your own journey, but also be realistic, right? If you want to make full-time results, you got to put in more effort. If you want to make part-time results, then maybe part-time effort's fine. But aside from the tools and everything, be crystal clear on like your life situation, time you're willing to dedicate, your work commitment, your focus. Like, is that really the same as the 19 other recruiters around you? No, it's completely different. That's why performance is always across the spectrum, and there'll always be people who are just killing it and crushing it, but they're also working their butts off versus people who aren't, right? So it all comes down to the recruiter. It all comes down to your discipline, work ethic, consistency, how you show up, and just how you're able to do that over and over and over again. But while those are important elements to find success, the biggest thing that I want to share is that don't compare yourself with others, right? It's very easy to see what other people are doing and then expecting their results and getting frustrated that you're not seeing those results. But then it's also like easy to overlook that, wow, I'm actually working less than that person, perhaps more of a budget to invest in better tools than I am. Like, go at your own pace and slowly level up at your own speed. The last harsh truth I want to share with you is when it comes to recruiting, like with any business, but specifically recruiting, you know, there's no harm in starting slow and dipping your feet in. It's already such a big commitment and sacrifice to start your own business. Once you kind of get past the honeymoon phase of I'm starting my own business, I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, you're going to realize how tough it is, how consuming it is, how much sacrifice, and how it just continually runs in your brain and you just can't shut it off, right? And so no need to rush into that. If you're thinking about starting a business for the long term, you have the rest of your life to focus on building that business. But to start off, if you have a stable job or you have a job, you have another income, start recruiting part-time, right? Maybe learn on the side, do a couple placements per year, get that cash to develop that safety net of an account that you need to then help you work for yourself and make that ultimate leap, right? To self-employment. Like, take advantages of groups like ours where you can still have a full-time job and an income, but then through us, you can have access to over 90, 100 different roles across different industries, working directly with our members and me, right? Where it would be literally the closest thing you can get to recruiting without having to work for yourself, plus all the added benefits of working with someone like me who's seasoned, who knows what he's doing, right? And who's there to honestly help you. Like, start small and then work your way up. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. Be smart. Don't just be reckless and quit your job and quit your business and go all in on recruiting, especially if you've never had previous recruiting experience. It makes no sense, right? I'm all about doing things systematically and being smart with your life and making sure that you set yourself up for success and you minimize all the probabilities and all the obstacles that can completely derail you, because this will be one heck of a journey that you will never forget. Last but not least, a bonus thing is that this is a roller coaster. Entrepreneurship is going to be the craziest, most stressful, and hopefully the most fulfilling thing that you will ever do. You cannot treat it like a job. You cannot allocate the same amount of time as a regular job. This is going to be your life. There is no work-life balance. It's all about finding a support system, finding things around and people around you that can fit in and synergistically align with what you're doing, because you cannot turn this off, and it's going to be consuming and it's going to still be running in your brain Monday through Fridays, but especially also the weekends as well. So really make sure that you are all about self-care. Do your best to draw the line as much as possible. Try to disengage or recharge on the weekends and not expect the same results every single week, every single month. This is not a job. You're not going to get paid the same every 2 weeks. Some months you're going to make nothing. Other months you're going to be awesome and make a lot, right? But it's not going to be consistent, especially the first couple of years, until you get consistency under your belt. So enjoy the journey, but expect the swings. It's going to be high, there will be lows. It's impossible to start a business without going through some lows and without the hard desert. Push through that, develop tough skin, because if you can continue to show up and be consistent, those lows will be temporary and you will not give up, quit. You'll actually push through, get stronger, build thicker skin, and get back up on your feet and be better and smarter and wiser than when you were before. So business has seasons. Go through the highs, go through the lows, enjoy it, take notes, get better, evolve, iterate, do everything with the long term, start small, make sure you have good savings and money to invest into your business so that you can really amplify and accelerate your growth. And most importantly, just be consistent and show up. And I think if you can do all of these things, there's no reason why you can't find success in recruiting or anything else that you do. So I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I really hope that it helped you. If you want to see more like this, please give us a like, subscribe, click that bell. It would really mean a lot. And yeah, really appreciate it. And looking forward to seeing you on the next one. Later, guys.